Did DC cook with the Superman trailer?
No. They fixed the flinch, Mike.
Yes, they did.
Because I was like, this dude is Superman. You hit him with a juicy box,
right?
And he's doing all this, winching and all this. They fixed that, so they're listening.
Yep. Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday, shooting right now. And he put out a photo. This is a picture of his workstation, I guess. He's got some green Kleenex there for some reason. Some energy, like a latte drink, some energy pills, some shades. But the big thing here is this Doom comic. I think this is going to give us some insight on what the character's motives will be. I don't think that Doom needs Thanos treatment. I think just drop him in. The stuff that Robert Downey Jr. is doing is a different way of getting this character in your face. Right. I'll tell you this. I tried to order some of those comics. They're sold out.
Of course.
Through a distributor. I was going to put some on the website, but they are on back order. So it's working. Right. There's a rumor that Marvel is filming, believe it or not, an epic Avengers versus X-Men scene for Avengers Doomsday. Who wins that? Now, we're not talking comic, right? Because if we're comic Avengers versus X-Men, I'm going X-Men. MCU's Avengers versus Fox X-Men.
Avengers.
All day, right? Yeah. With these.
How do you have Daredevil and Spider-Man in New York City and they don't cross?
Dr. Doom is an upgrade from Kang the Conqueror. All right. Welcome to Only Comics. I'm Mike. That's Adrian.
That's it.
What's up, dude?
Summer's shaping up, baby.
Dude, it's nice out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
we should do this outside.
Huh?
We should do this outside.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. One of these days.
Yeah, absolutely. I see you got some fresh gear there, Adrian.
Oh, yeah.
You got the Where We Discuss Comics and Only Comic shirt, because that's all we're going to do today.
Maybe.
We might get into some other stuff.
Yep.
I got some new gear too, Adrian. So I forget who coined this phrase, but somebody told us one time that we make Mondays great. So I'm like, well, why don't we start our own slogan here, right?
Yeah.
Called MNGA, because we make Mondays great again with Only Comics. We drop every Monday. So here's the Make Mondays Great Again shirt. Where can you get these, Adrian? Go on onlycomicsmerch.com right now. Get these two. We got some, actually go to the wide shot real quick. We got another variant, I guess, of yours right there. And then we got the classic blue and white Only Comics shirt. So you can get all that there on onlycomicsmerch.com. Nice. You can get some comics. But what we're going to do now, we're going to get into the show, Adrian. We got a lot. If you've never been with us before, buckle up. You're ready for a ride. Because you never know what you're going to get here, right? But like I said earlier, Adrian, and I'm going to double down, this is Only Comics, where we will discuss comics and only comics, yes.
Sometimes some other stuff.
Yeah, sometimes. Speaking of, on Wednesdays, you can catch other stuff. Shout out to all the interns out there. You can join the membership. Everyone always asks us, how can we help you out? Can we send you some coffee? By the time it gets here, it'll probably be cold, right?
Right. Got a little mold on it, some
absolutely.
bullshit. Yeah.
But you can join the membership for all of $4.99 a month. You get an extra podcast, ad-free. You get this show a little bit early. But anyways, let's get into some news. So we're going to go through some comic news and rumors. This one I didn't talk to you about yet, Adrian. So a lot of this show is off the cuff, right? Like we don't really tell each other what we're going to talk. I don't know who your hidden gem is later.
Right.
You have no idea what news I'm going to bring up.
Nope.
Right? So Robert Downey Jr., he will portray Dr. Doom in Avengers Doomsday. We all know this. Movie's shooting right now. And he tweeted Instagram, one of these social sites, Adrian, put out a photo. So actually go to the laptop shot real quick. So this is a picture of his workstation, I guess. He's got some green Kleenex there for some reason. Some energy, like a latte drink, some energy pills, some shades. But the big thing here is this Doom comic, right? So this is a comic. I've never read this. Well, I have now, but up until I saw this, never heard of it. So anyways, so let's the reason why this is important is I think this is going to give us some insight on how he will portray his version of Dr. Doom or maybe what the character's motives will be. So I did some homework, Adrian, for all of us here. I actually read this comic a few times over this past week, and I got some pictures here to show you guys. So, all right, go to the laptop shot again. This is the cover, Days of Doom. Now, this comic came out last year, 2024, written by Jonathan Hickman. What a surprise.
Right.
And this comic is it's a one-off. It starts with, you see Doom's body here just kind of like floating out in space. The comic is based around Valeria Richards finding Dr. Doom after Galactus has just basically, dude, destroyed the entire universe. So he went planet by planet, as he does, devouring the planets. He fought Doom, basically killed Doom, all but killed Doom. Left him out there hanging by a thread. And Valeria, is that how you say her name? Is Valeria?
Valeria sounds more correct.
Okay, well, we'll go with that. So, hey, edit that out, guys, before we put this out, right? So, Valeria, she goes on this mission to find Doom. Her and Doom are literally the last two life forces alive in this universe right now.
Now, in this reality, is Valeria his goddaughter kind of a thing still?
It's funny you asked that. She refers to him as uncle in this. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah, I would say they are pretty close in this reality. And it opens up with her kind of searching for Doom. And then when she finds him, it's her and Herbie. So Herbie's still around. So actually, go back to the laptop shot one more time. All right. So this is her ship right here. She's kind of conversating with Herbie. And they find Doom and realize that he is almost dead. But due to his magic abilities, he's still hanging on. Okay, and the artwork is really cool in this. It's heavy lines, dark, a lot of textures. It feels real cosmic. Doom was in some type of Sentinel type suit. See this giant head?
Right.
That had been severed from his machine, his Titan, I think they call it. And through finding Doom, she kind of goes through the suit, sees the memory of what happened, him fighting Galactus, and she has Herbie administrate a little bit of the super soldier serum. So a little callback to your hidden gem last week, Adrian. She gives him 1% of the super soldier serum, okay, just to kind of get him alive again, right? So he was almost unalive, but now he's re-alive. Is that a thing?
No.
No, he's not re-alive? Okay, well, he's alive again.
Reanimated.
There you go. He's reanimated, right? And, they start talking back and forth. And I'm not going to go through page by page. We'll go back to, we'll show you some more of the art, though. See the flashbacks of the battle. So basically, in a nutshell, what happened was Doom was prepared to fight Galactus with this suit and prepared to beat him, although he wasn't prepared enough. If it was regular old Galactus, he would have won.
Right.
But this Galactus had already went on this tear of devouring Earths or worlds. And we all know, maybe we don't all know, but when Galactus devours a planet, what happens?
He's fed.
He's fed.
Right.
Now, if he's devouring, let's say, 10, 12 in a row, he's probably going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Right. Which is interesting as it rolls, coincides with the hidden gem.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Are we locked in again?
We locked in again.
Oh, my. It's too easy. It's like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant sitting back and just shooting foul shots. It's what it's like here, Anyways, so she basically tells him, like, you were unprepared. Like, you kind of, if it was regular old Galactus, you would have been more than powerful enough to beat him. Right? So, you can go back to the laptop real quick. So we got some more Galactus in here. And then she just goes through and it tells him how, after devouring all the worlds, he ended up at their Earth, right? You got the old bearded Reed there, too. I'm a big fan of bearded Reed,
Okay.
He could sit here with us.
That's it. Well, I mean,
maybe not.
Got to cut the hair off.
Yeah, true. Well, hey, we're gonna throw out like Stephen Hawking's. Any time travelers out there, you can meet us here next week.
That's it.
Yeah, if you're out there. So Doom ends up at their planet, their Earth, last, and Reed thinks he can solve everything. It's still it's one of Hickman's main character arcs with the Fantastic Four and into the Secret Wars was all this Reed believing he can solve everything.
Right. And what Reed can't solve, Strange can.
There you go.
Them two arrogant pricks.
Absolutely. All while Reed is glazing Tony Stark for some reason, but that's a whole other thing. But anyways, Galactus shows up to their Earth. Same deal. They think they can battle and they can't. So, and these are just some cool panels with all of the characters. It's cool because everyone's in here for like a split second.
Right.
And then Galactus just wipes them all out. Villains, everything. You got Thor in there. You see Doom all fucked up here, almost on some like Darth Vader type shit, And then he gets powered up. So she gives him a couple of things. She gave him the super soldier serum, and then she gave him some celestial blood on a human plasma or some shit. So like blood of a god, essentially.
Sure.
So you got super soldier serum. You're Doom. Forget about all that. You're Doom, right? You got a little bit of super soldier serum, and she gave him that so that his body wouldn't shut down when she gave him the celestial blood.
Got it.
Okay. And now you see him super fucking powered, and he's got these, I forget what they're called, but those plates on his chest, there's like these 3 power sources. So the idea here is let's get him powerful enough to go fight Galactus.
Again.
Right. And then he's going through what Galactus did. Galactus basically destroyed the Celestials, all these big, like the Living Tribunal or whatever, a lot of those big godlike entities you always talk about. Galactus got powerful enough and fucking wiped them all out. He's a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
And in a nutshell, you got Molecule Man in here. I thought it was a pretty cool story, and it ends almost on a little bit of a cliffhanger here. Oh, before I tell you how it ends, Galactus's plan was this: he wanted to just wipe out all the universes and start fresh. Because I guess when in this story, when a universe is destroyed, a new one is birthed. Right. So he wanted to speed that up, just like all the villains now in the multiverse. They just can't wait, bro. They're like, shit. All these timelines are gonna die. Let's just put this shit on fast forward. And so he had this like ultimate nullifier or whatnot, which he was gonna use to destroy the rest of the universes, so he could start off brand new. He's just bored, I guess. Right. But he wanted some fresh food. But it ends right here with nice little panel of Doom all powered up, getting ready to fight Galactus again. And this time maybe he's strong enough to beat him, maybe he's not. You see the Watcher and a few other of these behind him, just kind of checking it out, dude. So it's a cool little standalone comic.
Cool.
But I think what it like, what does that have to do with Doomsday? What do I think that means for Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom? I don't think that I don't know about the Valeria relationship. I don't know if that's part of it, because so far all we know is Franklin Richards is going to be in this. We had not heard anything about Valeria.
Well,
is she older?
Well, Franklin was first.
Franklin was first.
So if Sue is pregnant with Franklin, it's going to be kind of hard pressed to squeeze out 2 babies in one movie. So
I doubt we'll see that.
Right.
So if anything, he's probably reading it.
Unless she does some time travel.
True. There could be that. But I would say, why is Robert Downey Jr. reading, or why did he make it a point to show that or to tweet that out? I think it has to do with the fact that maybe the motives that Dr. Doom has here to stop Galactus from destroying the universe, I think we're probably going to see some of that in Doomsday Secret Wars, where he thinks he's the hero.
Right.
Which is pretty Doom-esque, right?
Sure.
And I think the dialogue between, that's one thing I hope we get at some point in the MCU, is Valeria and Dr. Doom, because they have a really unique dynamic.
Sure.
And we talked about that that storyline where basically Doom, doesn't he help deliver the baby because Reed is unavailable or something? And he saves them both or some shit.
Right. He's in a position to help Sue deliver the child.
Right.
Because Reed is in some negative zone or something.
Of course. Hanging out with the Council of Reeds or something.
Sure.
Dude, he's so arrogant that he has to go travel the multiverse to find other versions of himself to create a committee with those people.
Dude, you can't stop the work, man. You can't stop the work. And you don't know when this baby's going to show up.
True, yeah.
You can't be like, oh, let me hang out for fucking 10 months, right? Until you have the baby, and then we'll deal with those complications too.
Right. Nah. But then you got Doom slipping in like, he's like another Namor, dude. He's like, Sue.
No, not really. Well, he's more into Reed than he is Sue.
True.
Namor was more into Sue than anything, right?
Literally.
And he didn't slip in. He was requested by, I think, Johnny or Ben, one of those two.
Yeah.
Went looking for him because they didn't have any other choice to save Sue.
Shit. Namor, he just slipped in, as they say. So anyway, but I like this, dude. I highly recommend this comic. It's like I said, came out last year, and it's just a one shot, one story. Doesn't really tie in anything else. But I think the presentation of Doom, and it shows you just how much of a threat Galactus. That's the thing we haven't talked a lot about. Like, we've seen Galactus' foot in the trailer, and he's shadowing over, and everyone's talking about Doom, the Fantastic Four, but dude, if Galactus isn't stopped in this movie, he's going to be a future threat.
Right. Well, I'm assuming he's going to be just a future threat. Well, who knows, because they're killing off all kinds of people
Right.
In Marvel these days. You know, Black Widow, Iron Man, you know, so on and so forth. So
T'Challa.
There's no telling, you know, what they'll do to a Galactus. But, I mean, I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I think he is an afterthought right now, but I'm willing to bet that in Doomsday and Secret Wars, Galactus is going to play a major role.
Sure.
You know, because Doom, it feels like he's going to be that anti-hero that kind of walks the line. Like, he's going to maybe put together a team of Avengers or X-Men or somebody to be on his side in this multiversal war while he's doing what he's doing to try to stop the incursions, which, like in the 2015 Secret Wars, he was killing off other universes to try to save his. Sounds like a Doom motive, right?
Well, I don't think Doom sees himself or acts in a superhero mode.
Yeah.
Doom does Doom, and it's the perception of others whether he's doing superhero or supervillain stuff at the time. Because first and foremost, Doom is number one, number two, number three to Doom.
Right.
Right. Then comes, you know, Latveria, his domain. Then comes Earth.
Right.
So in humans in general. So whatever he's doing, if they fall into one of those three pockets, he's doomed.
Yeah.
And then it's you who decides whether it's some nice stuff or some evil stuff.
Right.
So that's Doom.
Well, like, he'll protect Latveria over the rest of the world, even if that means going to war with other entities, countries, whatever.
Assuming that the world isn't at risk first.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there's no point in protecting Latveria if the Earth is going to be destroyed.
Got it.
So when it comes to that, but you know, most of the time Earth is not at risk.
Right.
So he will go to war with other countries or other groups or entities over Latveria, definitely.
So it wouldn't be beyond him to go to war or destroy other universes to protect the universe he's in with his people in Latveria.
Absolutely.
So sounds like, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
It'll be interesting.
And this is why, going back to something we talked about last week, I don't think Doom needs the Thanos treatment, meaning people are like, well, Thanos was trickled in there. Thanos was seen in the shadows. Doom's just going to show up in Doomsday? Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, no one really knew who Thanos was prior to these movies, right? Like, he wasn't the Joker. He wasn't one of these top characters that when you asked the average person about the Avengers, they went Thanos. You probably had Doom, Galactus, some of these other people in front of a Thanos.
Right. Silver Surfer, things like that.
So he needed to be sprinkled in there and built up. Also, every story doesn't need to be the fucking same.
Right.
Well, they did this with Thanos. They got to do it with Doom. No, they don't. Doom is, someone put it well, when we get to We Respond, I'll bring it up, but they said that Doom, he just needs the Darth Vader treatment. Just have him pop in. Like, he has that presence, and you will learn about him in the movie, but have him just, and Doom is kind of based off of Darth Vader, the style, and I think I even read that from, maybe I heard something, Stan Lee saying something along those lines. So give him the Darth Vader treatment. Just
there you go.
Have him show up and be a badass motherfucker.
Right. So that one-off book, since Valeria prepped Doom for another battle with Galactus, and Galactus all posing, you know, in the universe, and everybody's watching him, I'm assuming there's going to be a part 2 to this, or at least another comic coming out, right?
I don't think so. I think this was just meant to be a one-off to just tell this little story of, you know, Doom and
leave you hanging.
Yeah, leave you hanging. Yep. And then there was a cool the last line of it. What did he say? He said that he goes, when all that remains is one final moment of defiance, embrace Doom and laugh in its face. So Doom had a double meaning. Him going up against Galactus was essentially Doom, like his Doom, right? So, and then also Galactus facing Doom. So it was kind of like it was something. It was a little, I'd say, poetic, the story. But anyway, so yeah, I don't think that Doom needs a Thanos treatment. I think just drop him in. I think that the stuff that Robert Downey Jr. is doing, like popping this, is a different way of getting this character in your face.
Right.
I'll tell you this. I tried to order some of those comics. They're sold out.
Of course.
Like through a distributor. I was going to put some on the website, but they are on back order. So it's working.
Right.
just because he's not in the post-credit scenes doesn't mean people don't know about Doom and Robert Downey. Like, Robert Downey Jr. is enough to bring people in to see this character. You don't need to have, this post-credit plan for the last 10 years. So
Is that upside down box of green Kleenex back order too?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know what that had to do with the story, but he's selling some shit for Kleenex. Kleenex is also not a sponsor. Right. Matter of fact, this episode of Only Comics is brought to you by Only Comics. So we're self-sponsored. All right. So last week we talked about Ironheart, right?
Yep.
How they weren't promoting it. Mm-hmm. And I said, Adrian, jokingly, that watch, we're going to say this, and then tomorrow a trailer is going to be released.
Mike, you're older than you think. I said that.
You said that?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, you did say that. All right. I was trying to take credit for it.
That's all right.
But you said that, and what happened, Adrian?
They follow suit.
They sure the fuck did.
Which does what? And we'll get to another thing later about another preview, which they are also listening. So it's both Marvel and DC.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely, so they got James and Kevin. Maybe they're watching together. Right. I don't know. But they
holding
released
hands on the bike, right off into the sunset.
There you go. But you saw this trailer, Ironheart, right?
Yep.
This trailer's getting a lot of hate online. People, who asked for this? It's so woke. Someone was trying to tell me it was woke. I said, what's your definition of woke? And then they couldn't explain it. Like, well, what's your definition? I'm like, woke is usually something that is socially aware and, maybe politically correct. I don't know why that trailer to you was woke.
It's a black female genius character that was created as a black female genius character.
Correct.
Under the tutelage of Tony Stark.
Yes.
That's not woke. It's just a character that they created specifically for that role.
Correct. Yeah, so woke is, I guess the real definition is it refers to an awareness of racial and social inequalities and just a social awareness.
Wouldn't a female Silver Surfer be more woke than this?
Probably. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I think it's this, Adrian. When someone sees a black character, they just think it's woke. It's got to be woke,
It can't be anything else.
Yeah. No. It's like they blame the terrorists on everything. It's a terrorist.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't fucking know. But anyways, trailer drop. Now I will say, I don't know about you. I wasn't blown away. Mm-mm. Like it seems like a more of a teenager, little kid type of show.
Yeah.
What was your feel after this trailer?
I felt like if I think about it, I might watch it. I mean, they could have came out with something stronger than getting off an elevator test kind of a thing.
Yeah. I mean, the suit looked cool, right? But I
looked heavy.
It did look heavy.
Of course, the first Iron Man suit looked heavy. It was as well. So
one thing I was confused about the elevator scene is this character is small. She's a child.
Yeah.
How's she that strong? Why is she ripping parts of the fucking elevator apart? And I can't get my kids to carry the groceries in more than one bag at a time.
Oh, maybe that's the woke reference.
that
She's too strong.
Yeah.
To be black.
That was just weird for me though. Like she's up there with super soldier strength, tearing apart in elevators.
Did we miss the screwdriver that she probably carried around in her thing, and they just kind of cut, and now next thing you know the thing is open and she's messing around with it. I don't know.
If not, they're gonna add that in now that you said it.
Absolutely.
Again. Just like they fixed the Superman flinch.
Yep.
Anyway, so one character that was introduced in this trailer that is not usually associated with Ironheart was the Hood. You ever heard of the Hood?
In Batman.
No. This he's the actor, Parker Robbins, the Hood in Marvel. He's not been in a lot of, I shouldn't say, he's not the most popular character as always. I've always seen him just kind of in the shadows. Now, in this show, he's an ally of Riri's, and he's kind of a misfit. It's
what
almost,
the guy who was like talking to her.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I don't see him a lot in acting. Period.
He was in Twisters, the new Twister movie.
Right.
That's
he
where
was
I know
like
he was Hobby.
He was like he liked this girl or whatever.
He was the one that left the group, and he ended up reconnecting with her and kind of brought her back into the storm chasing game. So I mean, I thought he did well in that role. In this show, though, it's a completely different origin from his comic character. They're both in Chicago. His mom is part of a Puerto Rican street gang turned activist in this. In the comics, his dad works closely with Kingpin, and he has a healthy relationship with Parker growing up. Parker witnessed a battle between Daredevil and Electro, which had an effect on him as a kid. And then when his dad passed and he ended up turning to a life of crime, he ends up getting this cloak. It's almost like, Cloak and Dagger. It's almost some shit like that. They were doing some job, and we're gonna do like a fake hidden gem here, but basically Parker shoots this demon and steals its hooded cloak and boots, which gives him these powers. He can levitate with the boots, and he's got some other powers with the cloak. So I don't know. It seems like they're doing a completely different twist on this character here, because everything I looked through, I didn't see one crossover with Ironheart, so that's something new. And in the comics, he's from New York. Here, they're in Chicago. I mean, I think he's such a low-level, like, unknown character. Probably really doesn't matter. Like, right. I don't know of any diehard The Hood fans out there. Like, you're gonna fucking ruin him. I think it's probably okay.
First question is going to be, who's Ironheart?
Yeah, that part. So
then we can deep dive into all this other minutia.
But that's one that I do partly agree with, and it's like, and I hear the counter to that is always, well, who was asking for the Guardians of the Galaxy? And true, nobody was,
right? And
they knocked it out of the park. So it's a gamble. So it's kind of easy if it fails to be like, who the fuck wanted that?
Right.
When there's been plenty of characters that nobody asked for that they ended up doing a good job with.
Right.
But then that's the other, like you always say, if it's good, it's good.
Right.
Just make it good. So far, what I've seen here, I'm not crazy excited about it. I'll watch it.
Well, I wasn't crazy excited about Thunderbolts either.
True. I mean, that took a lot of people by surprise. Right. So,
and also probably when is this thing supposed to be out?
June 24th.
So also what you'll probably see is a response from the previews of the trailers. They'll probably go back and tweak some even the trailers, which is what they did with Thunderbolts.
Right.
So we'll see.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll check it out. If it's too bad, I probably won't finish it. But one thing I do like Dominique Thorne as Riri. I like that character. Right. At least what we saw. It was one of the very few bright spots of Black Panther 2.
Right. Was
her character, honestly.
Yep. Well, I'm predicting that I will like Ironheart better than I did Agatha.
Okay.
I mean, she was just the wrong actress for that Agatha character.
Yeah.
I mean, she's more of a kind of like a dry comedian kind of a actress.
Right.
And then the writing for Agatha, I think, was just bad.
To me, it was very inconsistent. There were some episodes that were good, but as a whole, it was just so up and down. It was like, wow, bad episode, good episode, bad episode. Here's my thought: stop fucking doing them. If these characters are not going to cross over into movies, what the fuck are we doing this for?
Right.
Y'all just you need a spot to spend some money. Send it to us.
There you go.
Another trailer we saw was a Superman trailer.
Yeah.
What'd you think about this?
Actually, I had a few thoughts.
Okay.
About this. So this kid that's playing Superman. I mean, if you look at him, so in the Superman comics and all the Superman movies, the idea is that Clark puts on glasses and you call him Clark, so therefore he's not Superman.
Right.
You take off the glasses and don't call him Superman, then he's not Clark.
Yeah.
But this guy looks more like Superman and Clark Kent at the same time, regardless of what he's wearing.
Okay.
I've never seen anybody look so in other words, when he goes from Clark Kent to Superman, he still looks like Clark Kent. When he goes from Superman to Clark Kent, he still looks like Superman. So I've never seen that before. In everybody else, there's been some kind of difference. Now, it's ridiculous that you put on glasses and all of a sudden I can't recognize you anymore. But still, number one. Number two, they fixed the flinch, Mike.
Yes, they did.
Because I was like, this dude is Superman. You hit him with a juicy box,
right?
And he's doing all this, winching and all this. They fixed that, so they're listening, right? He's getting his ass kicked a lot in this movie, right?
He
I mean, the first trailer we saw, he's Wanda, kicked his ass from the Marvel universe into Antarctica, right? And this damn dog picks him up. Now every other scene, he's getting his ass kicked by somebody, right? Guy Gardner of all people, Lex Luthor, who knows? Some chick with blade, bandsaw blades on her hands or whatever. The damn dog. Dude, can we please get rid of this dog?
I knew that was your least favorite part.
Oh, my God. I mean, anyway, enough said about the dog.
Wait, check out this picture. I want to see if you still say the same thing. You feel he looks just like Superman here.
Okay, so that's an exception.
Okay.
Because he looks doofus as hell in this one.
And that's why I was like, the whole time you're saying, I'm like, I actually got the complete opposite vibe. But I also don't remember seeing much of Clark in this past trailer, except for when he's talking to Lois, which she knows he's Superman.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
But because I think that is like complete, that's night and day. It's one of the best, contrasts between the two. I'll tell you, I'm sorry, you had some more stuff.
Yeah, a couple things. So the interview, one, there's two things about the interview. One, this dude's all powerful, but he needs to work on his anger issues.
Yeah, a little bit.
he's getting upset. I'm trying to save people.
Yeah.
But then I can understand how he's feeling. Fuck them. If they don't want to be saved, dude, go go take a nap in the sun or something. Let the buildings fall on them or whatever the hell else is going to happen to them.
Yeah. I saw the trailer twice. Honestly, when I saw it yesterday, I was like, this movie fucking sucks, dude. It's too goofy. But then rewatching it this morning, I was like, you know what? I'm actually looking forward to it. I do. The dog's a little. I feel like it's gonna walk that line of silly and good. I just hope it doesn't go too silly.
Right.
I just hope it doesn't like. It seems like it's right there. The action scenes look cool. I'm glad they fixed the flinch.
Right.
There's still just some other. I do feel like they're trying to humanize him too much. Like, why is he out of breath? Why is he wincing? Why is he, he's Superman. Look at what they just did with Sentry.
Right.
Look at, I remember in Endgame, Captain Marvel's fighting Thanos, and he headbutts her, and she don't move at all. Like, that's Superman. He's just as powerful. I don't want to see him flinching or out of breath from flying. Like, that is a little off to me.
Yeah.
They try to humanize him too much.
Yep.
I do believe that you need to humanize him a little bit because if not, he's a boring-ass character. But I think they did that with the interview. Like him, like, dude, I'm trying to help y'all. Like, you're representing you. I'm not representing anyone. Like, I'm a guy from or alien from Krypton. I'm trying to save you idiots because you're fucking stupid because you can't stop killing yourselves.
Right.
But
Lois did go in on him, though.
She did.
Which is, she's representing ideally what other people are thinking.
Correct.
And would ask if they had the opportunity to talk to him.
Absolutely.
And he just, loses his Kryptonian shit.
Yep. And, I mean, she's a news reporter at the end of the day.
Right.
Right? She's just dating this guy. They ain't, like, married with kids, like, yet, anyway. But she's just a news reporter, so she's still trying to get that sound bite, that whatever.
She's trying to get that Pulitzer.
That's it, dude. Yeah, what do you call her, Cronkite or something?
Yeah.
Okay, now Superman's got jokes. And then last but not least, Spider Noir, Adrian, a live-action series coming to Prime. We saw this trailer, this teaser.
Right.
Your boy Nick Cage. How'd you feel about this?
I mean, he was good for Ghost Rider, but that voice, it doesn't match.
Okay. Even though he voiced him in the Spider-Verse, did you not like him there?
I don't know. I just knowing that just seeing him.
Yeah.
But the cool part about it is that most of this shit it's black and white.
Right.
And most of this shit is done in the dark. So you don't have to actually witness a 90-year-old dude doing the things that Spider-Man needs to do. Correct.
Yeah. Dude, I liked it. I'm a big Noir fan.
Yeah.
Like, so for me, the look and the feel of this, I do feel like the voice was a little over the top. Like, I don't remember it being that animated, that.
It's almost like when you talk about Christian Bale doing Batman.
Yeah.
It's like that for me.
Right, yeah. Yeah, there was some of that. But the look, the feel, the style, I thought was great.
Cool.
And so this is it takes place. This is the synopsis we have so far. Spider Noir is a live-action series based on the Marvel comic Spider-Man Noir. Spider Noir tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private eye in the 1930s New York who's forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. And the series will be available in black and white and in color. It's going to debut on MGM Plus domestically and then launch globally on Prime the following day. And this thing comes out, actually, there's no date, but 2026. So this movie this show is going to come out in black and white and color. I'm probably going to watch it in black and white.
I probably will not.
No, you're on color?
Actually, I think the whole sexy part of the noir is the black and white.
Yeah.
So yeah, because when I think black and white, I'm immediately going to that wolf, grayscale or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, but I go, think about in the Spider-Verse movies, whenever you see this character, he's in black and white.
Right.
And everyone else is in color. So I probably will check it out in black and white. All right, so we had 3 trailers this week, Adrian. We're going to do something a little special here. We're going to have a Did They Cook trailer edition, okay? So just like we normally on Did They Cook, I would ask you about a character, an actor playing a role in a movie, and did they cook in that role? But 3 trailers this week, so I'm going to ask you if Marvel or DC cooked with these trailers. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, number 1, did Marvel cook with the Ironheart trailer?
No.
No, I agree. Number 2, did DC cook with the Superman trailer?
No.
Yeah, I would say no. Yeah, I would say they didn't cook either. And last but not least, did Marvel cook with the Spider Noir teaser?
No.
Damn, you're
they introduced.
Okay,
it's definitely not cooking.
All right, I would say they cooked. In that one. So, and we'll agree to disagree. So we're teaching people too, because most people when they agree, when they disagree, they get so upset and I hate you. You're stupid. You're so stupid. It's like, why does someone's opinion that I disagree with bother me? Why would it bother me?
Read your history.
It's like if you don't agree with me, you're wrong. So you can just be wrong. It doesn't bother me. But anyways, all right, Avengers Doomsday. So they're filming this movie. There's some set photos being released. There are some rumors. There's a rumor about, here's another thing. So last week, actually, let me give you a little timeline of events here, Adrian. 3 weeks ago, there was a rumor about Avengers Doomsday script not being finished despite the movie being filmed. Remember this? Mm-hmm. Last week, you remember I suggested that in Avengers Doomsday, they need to have a scene that lives up to the Civil War airport scene.
Sure.
Avengers fighting Avengers or Fantastic Four, X-Men or something. This week, there's a rumor that Marvel is filming, believe it or not, an epic Avengers versus X-Men scene for Avengers Doomsday.
We actually cheap dates.
Yeah.
I mean, send us something.
Seriously.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a Robert Downey Jr. paycheck.
Right.
But
right.
damn, send us something.
Something. I mean, that's 2 hours. We're not even 40 minutes into the show. That's 2 already.
Right.
That they just stole. 3, actually.
It's 3. It's 3.
They just stole from the show. There's probably 7 that I'm missing. But anyways, I like the sound of this. A nice epic X-Men Avengers fight, right? Now, who wins that? Now, we're not talking comic, right? Because if we're comic Avengers versus X-Men, I'm going X-Men. MCU X-Men versus MCU's Avengers versus Fox X-Men.
Avengers.
All day, right?
Yeah.
With these.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I have some set photos, though, to show you, Adrian. So go to the laptop shot. So remember this don't worry, we'll unravel it. It's covered up here. They're trying to hide it.
Okay.
But remember that kind of doomsday looking set we saw with the craters and all that?
Yeah.
They added a couple Sentinel bodies. So that's what that is under that tarp there. So you see the foot here.
Oh, okay.
See a statue here, and then you got the blue screen behind them. There's a Sentinel body. Now, what I'll say is we have yet to see the Sentinels done properly on screen either. The closest they got was Days of Future Past, and even those were a little wacky. These look pretty comic accurate, dude.
Yeah. I think I'll do a hidden gem on the Sentinels.
Ooh.
They're bad.
They are.
And they also evolve.
Yes.
So.
Yep. So they got a little Sentinel body there. So, anyways, this scene right here is rumored to be the X Mansion, and the Sentinel. Who knows how the Sentinels got to what happened, but so I guess there's some type of battle going on at the X Mansion, and the rumor says that it's an epic Avengers versus X-Men scene. So we heard rumors about Doctor Doom kind of manipulating these, squads against each other, one universe versus the next. I mean, it could be an incursion,
right?
Where like they're trying to kill off the other one, to save their world or whatnot. But either way, dude, it's shaping up to be a big fucking movie.
Yeah,
you know,
as it should be.
Absolutely. Tom Holland is rumored to be in talks to return as Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday. So if you remember, his name was left off, right? And Spider-Man in the MCU is in this weird state right now where no one knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Right.
So he's kind of been like soft deleted, right, from the MCU.
Well, it's more than just they don't know that he's Spider-Man. They don't know who Peter Parker is, right?
Yeah. Because at the funeral scene at the end of the last Spider-Man movie, he's standing next to Happy Hogan, and he has no idea who he is.
Right.
But a Doomsday movie with the Avengers, I think would feel weird without Spider-Man.
I think so.
I mean, he's played a big presence in Infinity War. I mean, and maybe not a big as presence in Endgame, but he had big moments in that movie.
Well, that's when he also, in the comics, when he got the symbiote suit.
That too. Yep. Yeah. So if it's Secret Wars, so you figure if he's going to be in Doomsday, that means he'll be in Secret Wars too. So, and I think this is one of those Sony deals, dude. Like, you know how the issue with Marvel, Sony, they're shooting the Spider-Man movie next year as well. So I may be scheduling conflict. Who knows? But the rumor is that Tom Holland is in talks to have a role in Avengers Doomsday, and I obviously think he should. Doomsday is scheduled for May 1st of 2026. Secret Wars scheduled for May 7th of 2027. And then Brand New Day, Spider-Man, is scheduled for July 31st of 26. So 2 months after Doomsday. It wouldn't make sense, and when I get to this next rumor, probably make more sense, but it would make a lot of sense to have him in this Doomsday multiversal movie with Spider-Man 4 now rumored to be a multiversal movie. So Sadie Sink, and we talked about this, Sadie Sink, the girl from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
We know she's going to be in this movie. We don't know who she's playing. There was a rumor months back that she was going to play Jean Grey. Doesn't look like that. So a new rumor that just dropped is that Sadie Sink is going to be playing Mayday Parker, the daughter of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, in this Spider-Man Brand New Day movie.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
So Mayday Parker,
yeah,
right, the daughter of Peter and MJ.
Okay.
But the Tobey Maguire version.
Got you.
So probably a future version, assuming some multiversal shit happens and she interacts with Peter Parker in some way, shape, or form.
That's a cool name, Mayday.
Mayday, yeah. So in the comics, May. So I guess Mayday's her nickname. Her real name's May after Aunt May. Okay. First child of Peter and MJ in a future alternate universe. In that reality, Kane, I don't know who Kane is, reunited the couple with the baby they believe died during childbirth. It's almost on some like Cassandra Nova almost, but not like, a turd on the side of the alley. But they thought the baby died and it didn't. And years later, they're like, here's your daughter, Imagine that. And then Peter Parker lost a leg and decided to retire from crime fighting in this story. So I don't know if they're going to get that wacky. But Mayday eventually gets powers. And turns into a Spider-Man because why not?
Sure.
And she actually wears the Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider suit, to fight Normie Osborn, Green Goblin's grandson. So I don't know how wacky they're gonna get, but yeah,
it just sounds wacky. It's like
it does.
What's the percentage of the second generation taking over the family business? It's very low that it's going to be successful, right? Yep. So now you got the third generation. Ain't nobody picking up no damn goblin suit, dude.
Hey, Normie Osborn might, though. What the fuck kind of name is Normie, too? And there is also that rumor that Steven Yeun is going to be playing the MCU's Martin Lee, Mr. Negative, and that Mr. Negative is going to be the villain in this movie. So, which maybe that... And I don't think his negative power, I think it's just a coincidence. I don't think it ties to the negative zone at all. But no. Who the fuck knows? Anyways, 2 more here, Adrian. Actually, 3 more. The Batman sequel is expected to begin shooting October, December this year now. So it's a little update here. And
The
new
Edward Batman?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bedward, as you call it.
Wait a minute. So they went from canceled. Well, they went from 30 years from now to cancel to now they shooting in December?
Yeah, well, they're shooting in December. I mean, they're still probably on track for in 5 fucking years.
Right.
But the new rumor is that the delays weren't for any big issue outside of the fact that Matt Reeves is just slow. He's a methodical. That's what they said. I didn't say this. They said it. He's a methodical writer, and he's been reportedly submitting multiple pages at a time for more than half a year rather than the complete script. So, at this rate, the movie may hit theaters by 2035. If here's a page, you get a page, you get a page. So
I can kind of understand that. I mean, he's probably a perfectionist,
right?
And I definitely identify with that. Mm-hmm. And so he's tripping over his own feet, basically. Okay.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? At this point, take your time. Yeah, whatever. Because we've seen things rushed out that, like, hey, if you would have taken another 6 months or a year to push it back, probably
anything that starts with soup.
Vision Quest. So we talked about we haven't talked about the show in a while. It's a sequel to a follow-up to WandaVision. And because there's also that White Vision still out there in the MCU, the one they recreated, right? Who has all of the old Vision's memories now. So it's like kind of a new Vision, but not. He's out there somewhere doing something. I think you're gonna like this, Adrian. There is
he too is pushing up on Sue.
Absolutely. Of course, dude.
Everybody else is, might as well.
Well, he might be pushing up on someone else. So Ultron's rumored to be in this. Okay. Not rumored, confirmed. You know someone by the name of Jocosta.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hidden gem.
It was a hidden gem.
Yep.
So Jocosta's rumored to be in this show as well.
Nice.
So reportedly they cast her, but the identity is being kept under wraps right now. So
probably J-Lo, because J-Lo is the only one with a body that can pull off a Jocosta. Well, I mean, you got to have somebody thick and proportioned properly. And that's probably horrible to be saying. Yep. But you can't mess this one up.
Right.
Please don't.
Get Megan Thee Stallion.
Or not.
But so looking through some casting details, it sounds like Marvel wanted a black actress in her 40s to 60s to play a character better known in the comics as the Bride of Ultron. So I guess we'll see who
Jennifer's black enough.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. With all the Diddy stuff going on, she probably wants to stay out of the line. I mean, she's had a history there, too. Like, she might get called to stand. Who knows? But Jocosta debuted back in 1977 in the Avengers. She was built by Ultron. And then her consciousness is based on the brain patterns of Janet Van Dyne. Yep. Right? And Ultron was created and based on Hank Pym in the comics, not Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. But in the MCU, obviously, they switched that. So I'm wondering, if they switch that, who are they going to base her consciousness on in the MCU? I mean, they have a Janet Van Dyne, so they could.
Yeah, but that movie flopped, so they probably find somebody else.
Right. Last but not least, so there's been a lot of rumors about X-Men casting, right? We've heard things like, Denzel Washington's going to play Magneto and what. So the latest rumor is about another Magneto casting. You familiar with the actor Daniel Day-Lewis, Adrian?
Yeah.
You don't seem that excited. So he's rumored to be playing Magneto. Here's what I'll say. Acting-wise, can he pull it off? I believe he 100% can pull it off. Here's my only issue. He's 68 years old today. Why do we need to have another ancient Magneto? You look speechless, Adrian.
I don't get it.
The age or him as an actor?
Both.
Oh, you don't like him as an actor?
Well, not him as an actor. Him playing his part.
Okay. You don't think he could?
He can.
Yeah.
But is he the right fit though? Right. Number one. Number two. Again, they're cock blocking the actor field. All these old goats want to get into the comic book movies now.
Right. 10
years ago, nobody wanted to touch this shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So now you can't get rid of them. Oh, resurrect me. I got a sarcophagus. Come resurrect me and I'll play, Batman jumping out of a jet and I'm 200 years old. Make way for the young stallions, man. You got to, because if you don't, comic book movies are the now thing, right? And if these actors don't get in and start making their way in, you won't get another Denzel Washington because Denzel Washington be around here fucking 200 years later. You won't get another Sam Jackson because they'll clone him,
right,
and make his life, make his image, his likeness, use his image and likeness in perpetuity, which is beyond forever, right?
Right.
So you gotta let these young actors get in and start making their way and find a role for these old heads. Make them teachers or something. Get Professor X, he's a fucking teacher. Make a black Professor X or a female one, or bring his crazy sister in, or whatever,
right.
you know? But just, please, somebody. I mean, you're stealing from us anyway.
Right.
Steal that idea. Open it up for these young actors to get in and start making their way because they'll never get the opportunity.
Yeah. I guess how young of an actor should be playing Magneto, though? He's always gray-haired and slightly older in the comics.
It's not gray hair, it's white.
White, okay.
So make him as young as you want to make him.
Yeah.
30, between 30 and 50.
Okay.
I would say.
Yeah. I'd probably lean closer to the 50. My thing is just 68, bro. Like, my man's going to be 70 by the time they even start filming one of these movies.
Right.
Like,
no, what's going to happen is the end trailer is going to be, condolences or rest in peace to somebody that was acting in the movie.
Damn.
Or they'll delay it because they got to replace it.
Yeah. Hey, I got a perfect idea. There's a fella who already played Magneto. He played a young Magneto. His name's Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
You could dye his hair white. He's 48 years old.
Right.
Right? So Magneto doesn't need to be 100. Like, I'm tired of the frail old Magneto.
Right.
Magneto is not frail, dude. He's a big-ass motherfucker in the comics. He's strong as shit.
Yep.
He's a savage.
Get Fassbender, lift some of that iron that he's, and like you said, dye his hair.
Yeah.
We've already seen him. I mean, why do you have to reinvent? I mean, if you got a person, right, just keep using them until they decide, they don't want to, or they do some other shit off screen that screws up their career.
I would say look-wise, acting skills, do I think Daniel Day-Lewis can pull it off? Yes. Acting skills, yes. The look, he's skinny. I mean, he played Lincoln, right?
Right. Which I liked him as that.
He was good as Lincoln.
You talking about the vampire one, right?
No, the actual Lincoln movie. The Steven Spielberg one that's like 19 hours long. Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
You saw Gangs of New York.
Have you seen the vampire?
No.
Oh, dude, that's cool. That's a cool one.
You've seen Gangs of New York, right? With Leo. He plays Billy the Butcher. Okay.
No.
All right. So, those are the only two movies of his that I could really, really remember. I mean, he was in this movie 9 back in 2009. He was in Ballad of Jack and Rose in 2005. What the fuck is that? Sounds like some Titanic sequel. The Last of the Mohicans, he was in that. He played Hawkeye. Let's see. He was in My Left Foot, played Christy Brown.
Jeez, I have not heard of any of those.
No. Now, he's known for being a very, like a method actor. I mean, I think when he was playing Lincoln, he was literally in character the entire time, on and off movies. So, I mean, well-renowned actor. I want to say I think he won an Oscar for Lincoln. But, like I said, look-wise, sure, kind of, but he's kind of skinny fella. I'm just worried about the age. I mean, he's 78. You got Ian McKellen's 85.
Wow.
He's probably, I think he was about the same age when he started playing Magneto back in the early X-Men days. He may have been a little bit younger. X-Men came out in 2000. So we're talking, 25 years ago? Yeah, I mean, he was probably, 63. So he was even younger. But I think he's too old. I think I'd love to see Fassbender. Or to your point, I think 30s is too young. Get somebody who's in their early 50s. Sure. Right? Someone who, they don't look ancient, but they don't look 25 years old.
Right.
And get someone with white. We need to see a white hair Magneto for once.
Right.
Again. Mm-hmm. And they're already talking about bringing Ian McKellen back in Secret Wars or as a cameo.
That. Well, he as a variant as a variant, sure.
Sure, but then don't make the next Magneto just as fucking old. For that, just let him continue. I mean, shit, does it matter? You got old white dude, fuck, old skinny white dude, just pick one. But anyways, God, it's fucking, my blood pressure rising in here. You're pissing me off today. I mean, it was fucking. He's almost 70 years old, dude.
Oh my God.
He shops on Tuesdays at the grocery store.
Right. Bingo on Thursday nights.
Yeah, absolutely. They can't film late because it's going to be at fucking bingo. Jesus. All right.
Oh, my God.
Anyways, before I have a conniption, as they say, we're going to wrap this up with a little thumbs up, thumbs down, Adrian. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. So we already talked about the trailers. We'll skip that part. All right. Avengers Doomsday set photos reveal a comic-accurate Sentinel laid out, while rumors of an Avengers X-Men epic fight scene being filmed. I give that a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Even though they got the idea from us, but what are you going to do?
There's that. Yeah.
Tom Holland rumored to be in talks to return as Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, thumbs up. Get him in this fucking... You got everyone else in there.
Exactly.
Shit. Sadie Sink rumored to be playing Mayday Parker, the daughter of Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker in Spider-Man Brand New Day. I guess thumbs down.
I don't care.
I think that's wasted. I mean, maybe they'll knock it out of the park with the story, and I'll change my mind. But right now, thumbs down. I want to see for once a grounded Spider-Man story in New York City in the MCU. Mm-hmm. That's the other part we didn't talk about. They're filming overseas. Mm-hmm. Like, so another Spider-Man movie that's not going to be in New York.
Where overseas?
I think same part where they filmed some of Far From Home, Italy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The Batman sequel is expected to begin shooting in the fourth quarter of this year, October, December. Just thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Vision Quest TV series has casted the universe's Bride of Ultron, Adrian Jocosta. Give that a thumbs up.
I'll do a tentative thumbs up. I'm waiting to see, dude.
Who cast it? Okay.
Yep.
I'll give
Who got casted?
Including the character, a thumbs up. Well, they also heard that here first. That's like 8 things already.
Yep.
And then last but not least, Daniel Day-Lewis is rumored to be playing Magneto in the MCU X-Men reboot. That a thumbs down, dude.
Thumbs down.
Take your old ass to fucking bingo and let someone else, put the helmet on. That's Shit. It. I'm about to put the helmet on and play Magneto. Anyways, all right, that's thumbs up, thumbs down. We are going to hop into some Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5. Then we have We Respond, Hidden Gem, and wrap this whole thing up with Agree to Disagree, Adrian. So we're about the halfway point right now, all right? So like this, if you haven't already, subscribe. Hey, join the membership. Become a Legion of Intern membership. Become an intern. Anyways, so Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5, Feel Her Love, they call this episode. What would you give this episode score?
7.
Yeah, I think that's solid. The show is like, it's hovering right now for me. It's not bad, but I don't feel like we've hit the same heights we hit in the beginning of this season or the entire first season. Are you getting that vibe that outside of the Joel stuff, season 1 was better?
Yeah, I definitely think that. Well, also because it introduces a new type of zombie, really. Yeah. Right? So that's pretty exciting. Yeah. The highlight of this season for me has been the sleeper zombies.
The smart ones.
The smart ones, where they come out the snow. Yep. That was pretty cool.
Where they're like hiding and shit.
Yeah. Yep. So you see like 3 on the surface, but then there's a whole cave of them underneath, and next thing you got 100,000 running after you, and they running.
Right. Which we saw in this episode where Dina gets fucked up. Right. Like they think there's like 1 or 2, and all of a sudden there's like, dude, a couple dozen. Right. Which they're fucked. And the big part of this, the big moment in this episode is the revenge that Ellie starts to get, right? She gets the revenge on the one girl, Nora. Right. Which that was cool. So I'm not saying this is bad. I just feel like the first season, to me, at this point, was so much better. What does make me nervous, though, is this is episode 5, and there's only 2 episodes left, I believe.
Oh, my God.
So
they're going to do like a wrap-up, and it's probably going to feel rushed. And then you're going to be left with, like, really?
Yeah, that's what's strange. Is like, why aren't there more episodes, or why didn't you do more in this part of the, like, is it going to be a lot, or is it going to be like, hey, season 2, part 2 comes out next year or something? I don't know. Or maybe it's a quick turnaround for season 3, but you see Jesse back into the picture here, right? Where when Dina gets fucked up, he kind of saves her. And again, I think the highlight of this for me, I do like what you're talking about with these sleeper zombies or infected, because it brings a whole nother layer to this. Right. Like they've already it's a progression too. In the first season, we're introduced to the infected, and we see like Joel knows how to handle them. Ellie learns, right? And then by the end of the season, like the average infected is not a big deal. Right. But now they have these evolved ones, and now it's like they're mismatched.
Right. And then you got the branches, right?
Yes.
That can sense things in this area and can alert other infected. And now they introduced the spores.
Right.
So it's transmitted through the air as opposed to a bite.
Correct.
So you like doubly screwed.
Yeah. Yeah. It's getting worse.
Yep.
It's getting more dangerous out there.
Yep.
And we realize we've already learned so far like how outnumbered Ellie and Dina were. Like they thought they were going to track down 4 or 5 people, and there's armies at war here.
Right. Well, you had 2 armies, number one.
Yeah.
And also, the math is not mathing, dude. You think about how big Seattle is.
Yeah.
And Jess supposedly found the one hotel in the whole city where they left a note or a map or something, which he was able to then follow to their exact spot. Come on.
It was a lot. Dog. Yeah, that's what my wife said. She's like, how did he find them? Like, that doesn't even make sense. There's definitely some things that, as you say, the math's not math in here. And we put that on a T-shirt. The math's not math. Dude, that's it. You guys want a math not math in the shirt? I can't even say it. Math's not mathin'. Anyways, but the other highlight for me was the scene with Nora. Right. I love seeing characters like that get their revenge. It was done so well. Mm-hmm. And like she then beat the fucking, the news out of her. Mm-hmm. Well, that was because she could have just she was going to die anyway. She could have just left her die. But she's like, fuck you, dude. I'm getting my revenge on you. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I would say it's probably 7.5. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great. Was just kind of, slightly above average. I think the problem is they've set the bar so high with this show. Mm-hmm. So anything that's like just good kind of feels like a letdown to me, at least.
Right. I mean, they need to get over that, the guitar, Joel, that whole auditorium thing. That could have been like since we're talking about black and white, that could have been like a black and white flashback of him teaching her something. Right. But then they introduced a flashback of Joel walking into a room, and it's a waste. Yeah. Get on with some other stuff.
Do you think it's you think they did the Joel death too early then? Like, because now they're doing these flashbacks, it's almost like we probably could have seen that first, and then had them. Now, I guess they wanted that to happen when these two were at odds, right? Because that made it, I guess, even worse. The fact that she's upset at him over some shit we really don't know about, and we never see them connect. So, I don't know, from a storytelling, whatever. But it does make it feel like it happened too soon. Right.
Well, I mean, it's not too soon if you only have 2 more episodes left.
Yeah, true. So maybe this season was just a little too short, but it remains to be seen. We will see. We'll find out, I guess, tonight. Well, by the time you're watching this, you've already found it. Because it's Monday, and Adrian, we make Mondays great again,
That's what I heard.
You ever heard someone say they have the case of the Mondays, Like, it's a Monday.
Yeah.
Also think, no offense, that's pathetic. Like, it's a day.
It is.
Time's a construct, right? So who call it? The calendar says it's Monday. Who gives a shit? What's the difference between Monday, Tuesday, Friday? Fuck. Knock it off. That's my motivational talk for the day. All right, so we're gonna hop into some We Respond, Adrian. This is where our interns, fans of the show, our subscribers, they comment. They say some good stuff. Sometimes, not our interns, but sometimes the other subscribers, they say some bad things. Yeah. And we have to, verbally smack them around a little bit. So.
Well, saying bad things, isn't that time? It's a perspective. Yeah. It's a construct.
True.
It's your opinion about somebody else's response. Correct. To your opinion.
Yes.
So.
But to me, my opinion is always right. So, it's. Anyways, OG Dirte, what's up, Mike and Adrian? He's an intern. Did Adrian say he's never seen Tales from the Hood? That's crazy. That's what I was saying.
Wait a minute. Just because I'm black?
Yes.
I'm supposed to see every black... Dude, I'd never show up for a podcast. You heard of this thing called, what is it, Hulu?
Yep.
Dude, I mean, come on. Is it Hulu? Not Hulu.
Tubi?
Tubi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd never leave my TV, dude.
For now on, I'm going to have a list of black movies and ask you.
That'd be a full-time job,
Have you seen
dude.
Juice?
Yes.
Bishop, your boy Tupac. Yep. That's the other thing, bro. Tupac, we talked about him a little bit last week, the past few weeks. For as amazing of a rapper and just activist he also was a pretty good actor. Yeah. I mean, he went to acting school, art school growing up. But and I think we just started to see that right before he was killed. There's a handful of movies like Above the Rim, like Gridlocked, and then, obviously Juice. But anyways, he said that's worse than you not seeing E.T. Okay. That's that racial thing, see? Adrian showed should check out The Accountant too. Just seen it today. It was good in my opinion. Now, what do you guys think about these rumors? So, let's see. Spider-Man 4 rumored to cast Steven Yeun as Mr. Negative. I love that. We talked about that a few weeks back. So Fantastic Four emergency reshoots to fix the ending of the movie. I don't think it's to fix the ending of the movie. I don't think they're emergency. I think the reshoots were to shoot a post-credit scene with Doom and some of the Avengers, since that movie's being filmed right now. You know what I mean? Like, think about it.
Possible.
Movie's done, right? Fantastic Four is coming out in July. Doomsday already started filming, and then at that same time, they need to do some reshoots for Fantastic Four. Well, they're going to shoot a post-credit scene.
Sure.
With Doom, right?
We shall see.
We shall see. So X-Men rumored to cast Black Professor X and Magneto. Yeah, well, there's a new rumor that says that's not going to happen, and I don't like that. Those are, most of the time, I'm okay if you're going to race switch a character, but characters when their race is not part of who the character is. Does that make sense?
I'm not okay with them race swapping anybody or gender swapping anybody.
Yeah.
Because there's just too many other characters that other ethnicities or other genders can play. It's just simple as that.
I should say I'm more tolerable when it's not tight, because they're going to do it anyways. Like the Catwoman race swap.
Right.
Whatever. But this one where Magneto's, his whole origin is he's a Holocaust survivor.
Right.
So you make him no longer Jewish. Now it's a whole different character. But so no, I'm not a fan of that.
Well, so if he's not a Holocaust survivor, what is he? Is he
civil rights?
Civil rights, or you survived South Central, or I mean, what? I mean, it's going to go ridiculous,
right? But yeah, I assume that's how they would still tell that story. Yeah, he was whatever. Maybe he grew up during the civil rights movement or something like that. I don't know. But was why change it? You know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
But so he says that I'm going to be honest here. To me, Disney is failing Marvel. The writing is on the wall. If Ironheart and Fantastic Four bomb, does this mean that Disney does not know how to give us Marvel's fans what they want? No, I don't agree at all, because you got to remember Disney bought Marvel back in like 2013. So you can't say they ruined it. Well, OG, you can say whatever you want, but I would never say they ruined it when we've got things like Infinity War, Civil War, Winter Soldier, Endgame, Thor. I mean, I could go on and on, and Disney was involved in all of that. So, and having a company like Disney with their budget, their money, really helped kind of navigate this path to, a Iron Man movie, to a big event movie like Endgame.
Right.
You don't do that without Disney money.
Exactly.
So no, I don't. Would you say they ruined Marvel? Or?
No, it's especially now that they're going in on the R ratings. If they had kind of like diminished that, the R rating, made it like PG-13-ish.
Right.
I would say, they're ruining the comic books.
Yeah.
But I agree with you also that in order to do these very expensive movies, the CGI, the actors they're trying to draw, the battle scenes, the number of characters in a battle, things like that, the space exploration, the multiverse stuff, you need deep pockets.
Absolutely. And then he goes on to talk about Ironheart here. I'm only watching Ironheart to discuss it with you guys. And if you Google Marvel, The Hood, it says The Hood has significant ties to Daredevil. He definitely does. We talked about it briefly earlier where his dad worked with Kingpin. So OG says, why didn't they use him for the Daredevil TV series? Thanks for reading my comment. Love the show and other stuff. Well, we appreciate you, OG. I don't know why they didn't use him for Daredevil. I mean, this could lead to that. Who knows? To me, it is a little strange that of all characters, they picked the Hood to include in the Ironheart series when they had no interaction in the comics, at least no massive. But I kind of like what you say a lot, dude. If the story's good, I don't really care.
Maybe they included the Hood because of those tie-ins.
Maybe.
I mean, can you bring Ironheart and Daredevil together? The only way that's going to happen is you bring somebody that's kind of related to both of them. Right.
Absolutely. Which I didn't bring this up earlier, but Kristen Ritter is all but confirmed to be playing Jessica Jones in season 2 of Daredevil. So,
nice.
So we should see them interact again on screen.
Yeah. Matt and Jessica interacting.
Yes.
Yep. That's going to happen.
Yo, Matt's he's got too much riz, bro. Right? He's got to chill down a little bit. Slapper Wrestling says, guys, I'm finally an intern. Well, welcome to the internship, Slapper. I don't know if you remember me from TikTok, but I love y'all. I do remember you from TikTok. Yeah, Slapper's always commenting. I started a new job this week, and it's been all I've been listening to. Another working class. So that's the most. A lot of people, y'all are listening right now while you're working.
Well, we obviously got some rich people listening too.
Yes.
So some white collar workers also listen too because they stealing all of our shit.
Yes. They're probably paying the working class folks to listen and bring back the news to them.
No, they doing some DL shit. They getting the information direct.
They got a burner account, as they say. All right. And he says that I'd love to make an edit for you guys one day. Well, shit, make one, dude. Slappa also says, I got 2 questions. How hyped would you be for a Daredevil Spider-Man crossover? Fucking yes, yes, and yes.
Right?
Same?
Absolutely.
They need, they've done in the comics plenty of times.
It just kind of makes sense.
Absolutely.
It's like, how do you have Daredevil and Spider-Man in New York City and they don't cross? It's almost like, how do you have the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man not cross?
Correct.
Or the Avengers and it's just too many people in New York for them to not cross.
That's like when people say, I've seen this a lot on TikTok this past week. The movie's just going to be a cameo fest. There's too many characters for one movie. I asked this guy, he never responded. Now I'm like, I'm not trying to be an ass, but have you ever read a Marvel comic?
Right.
Like, there's dozens of characters. I think where people get confused is just because they say Ian McKellen's going to be in this movie as Magneto, doesn't mean he's going to star in the movie, Adrian.
Right.
He may be in it for 14 seconds.
Right.
Which I'm fine with. Mm-hmm. Like, when you watch an average movie, you got a main character, supporting character, but is there not dozens of people that are just in the movie to, like, be the guy who holds the door, to be the guy who has some dialogue when they're ordering food? Like, the difference with the comic book movies is you have all these established characters where you can have instead of the guy who, holds the elevator door for you, it's Magneto with a quick interaction. Like,
sure.
So I don't think that all of those 50 whatever names are going to be starring in the movie, bro.
Well, they're going to be starring, but there is no. It changes the idea of starring and then also starring and then with.
Yeah.
You go through all those now, and with is typically more important than starring lately, right? So like in Endgame, you got like 50 people starring,
right? But like, think about that battle. How many people were in that battle? Most of them didn't even have a dialogue. They're just there. Oh shit, you see Drax. Oh, you see this guy. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's going to be overstuffed or cameo fest. Like, we'll be a cameo fest, but I think my point is they'll be able to manage it.
Sure.
We just saw in that Doom comic, was there not several panels where, dude, there's probably a couple dozen characters, but they're there for how long, dude?
Yeah.
One page.
As long as it took for God to wipe them out.
Serious. So I don't think that's going to be an issue at all.
Nah.
And then he says, would you guys ever consider talking about the Predator movies or Godzilla movies? I'd love to see your takes on them. I've never seen these. You've seen Predator or Godzilla movies?
Who are you, dude? What do you watch?
Dude, apparently I just watched
fucking Weekend at Bernie's or something?
Yes. I have seen that, yes. Yep.
Oh, my God. Yes, I have seen the Predator movies, even when they started, getting ridiculous. I've seen the Predator versus Aliens. Yep. I've seen the Aliens. I've seen all of it.
Okay,
yes.
Godzilla too.
I definitely Godzilla.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll toe dip into this, maybe slap it. But anyways, Lex Xiang from Super Soldiers dicking down everyone to what they say in church. This show has everything. Yes, and you know what? Peace be with you. Okay. And also with you. Super Soldiers dicking down. It happens, dude. Right. It happens. We just call it like it is here. That's all.
That's it.
We should also need to get balls in the lettuce on the shirt too. So, for anyone who doesn't know, Adrian, what is the definition of balls in the lettuce?
It was just some off the cuff comment because
you were making a point though,
right? Well, it was why is Galactus walking around New York, right? He's this celestial being.
Yep.
He can literally suck the earth up through a straw from space, basically. Yep. So why is he on Earth? That's like, and what I said was, that's like a person, just jumping into their food naked, balls rolling all in the lettuce.
Like you're doing too much.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Doing too much.
It's not necessary.
Exactly.
Yeah. So like to make the salad, all you need is your hands, right? You just throw
or some tongs. You don't even need to put your hands in.
Yeah. So, but if you were to put your balls in the lettuce, that's just a little too much.
Yeah, that's a little much.
Got it. Okay, so you're doing too much. I like that.
Well, you could. Just don't tell anybody.
That too. Well, Galactus is kind of hard to hide when he's like 97 feet tall on a average day. Maple Grove says, another great episode, guys. Love the hidden gem as always. But learning more about the serum was very, very cool. Also looking forward to the show. Well, thanks, Maple Grove. DJ Super Soldier, hold on. You mean you can disagree on things and not lose your shit and say the other person is wrong? Yes. We need to spread the message. DJ, I'm trying. We're trying to spread the message, Adrian. John Bonvon, I love the Civil War comics. The wedding of T'Challa and Oro. When Cap and Iron Man show up and they have to put him there in his place and they say no to their feud. Yeah, the Civil War comic it's definitely, people always say like the book's better than the movie. The Civil War comic it's a bigger story than the movie.
Sure.
DJ Super Soldier also says, fire episode as always. Can't wait for that reading guide for Secret Wars. Got my copy of Secret Wars a while ago, but haven't read it yet. Hold off until we get the Mike's guide. Well, with Batman 2 in limbo, do you think it will affect another series, The Penguin? Yeah, absolutely. Because if there's no Batman 2, why are they going to make, The Penguin? Now, we got good news that maybe they're filming later this year.
Why would that affect The Penguin?
Because if they're not moving forward with the movie, why would they move forward with a show in the same universe?
Because it's entertaining.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
I think one has to come first. Because you've already I guess you could pull a Marvel and like ignore what you teased, but you teased Batman showing up, so you're gonna need Batman somewhere. Maybe just if Matt can just keep sending a couple pages a week, we'll get it all wrapped up soon.
Well, clearly Matt needs interns to help move his old crusty ass along.
Eat beef yummy. The intern. We saw the ebony blade in the post-credit scene of the Eternals. That's right. Remember the end of Eternals? There was like some sword on the table, and I forget who picks it up, but it was like a black blade. We talked about the ebony blade last week. With
I want to say the Horseman, but the armor dude.
Yes.
Cat at the end.
Yep.
Watching the Celestials reach down and snatch up people or something.
Some shit like that. But he picks up the sword, the ebony blade. So we have seen it in the MCU already, which we learned that with one swipe, Iron Man gets fucked up by T'Challa. So John Bonvon also, here's something to be inclusive or whatever bullshit. Pride Month is June. How about a hidden gem on all the different lantern colors? Because gay and rainbows, okay?
No.
Yeah, John, you're on something today, bro. Captain Canada, another week, another banger. Sup, guys? I agree with Mike about the X-Men movies. X2 and Days of Future Past were top ones. The rest shat the bed, yes. Fun fact, Isaac from Last of Us, actor Jeffrey Wright, reprised his role from the game. He's doing a great... I didn't know that he voices Isaac in the game, too, so that's cool. Love this week's hidden gem. Not a lot of people familiar with the different variations of the Soldier Serum. Looking forward to following along with Secret Wars. Got to pick up a copy myself. Yeah, dude, we're going to have some for sale for cheaper than what you can buy them for in the store, I promise. So, Pure Venom says, y'all called it on the Ironheart trailer. See, he knows. Pure Venom gets it, dude. Y'all are overdue for a lot of money, respect, just to name a few. You're fucking right. Shit. Pure Venom also says we need a live, but it has to be the weekend. Yeah, I think that's what I'm probably thinking too, on the weekend. Another banger of an episode. Love the hidden gem. Adrian, a different take, but so much knowledge. You say you can't get drunk because of the serum, but I can still smoke the Mary Jane. If so, then give it to me. Yes, I'm with you. The Civil War series, to me, was not done right on screen, but also understand why it couldn't be done. It was such a large story, so many times. Yeah, dude, I mean, to do it justice like it was done in the comics, it would have taken probably 3-4 years of movies and shows. That's how big of an event the comic event was. Sons of Sekhmet, love this episode. The comic moments from Civil War were fantastic. I vote for Adrian doing Mephisto as a not-so-hidden gem because Mephisto has fucked with plenty of heroes. What was the best storyline he appeared in? You like Mephisto?
I don't really follow him, but, I mean, he's in and out, as he should be.
Right. Got it. I vote for the graphic novel Triumph and Torment, where Dr. Doom and Dr. Strange travel to hell to fight Mephisto. Of course they do. The ones where Mephisto screwed the Silver Surfer Galactus were good too. Of course, Daredevil 266. Have you heard of Sacha Baron Cohen playing Mephisto in Ironheart? Yes. So you know who Sacha Baron Cohen is? No. You ever seen Borat? Where he played,
30 years ago.
Yeah, does this car come with pussy magnet? That guy.
Oh, that guy.
Yes.
Oh my God.
He's in this movie. Now he is a good actor. I've seen him in some serious shit, but yeah. God, Borat is just, that's a whole nother level. All right. And C. Jason 1, another intern. I agree. Those 2 X-Men movies were good. They just did a terrible job overall. Think how soft Rogue was just hurt me. I agree. They, as you say, screwed Rogue. Like, they gave her the Jubilee story from the X-Men animated series, where she's the, the foster type child that nobody wants type shit because she's a mutant. She's a young teenager, and she kind of gets, pawned off on the X-Men. That's not Rogue in the Rogue's a badass. I mean, we saw in X-Men 97. I mean, one of your favorite scenes, boy, Cap, dude, get that shield out of here, bitch. So I agree. And then that dude Pablo, and more DC news. Yay, more Peacemaker. He said mildly sarcastic. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to watch it, but I don't know if I care anymore. If James Gunn the problem with DC? I like some of his work, but it seems like there's no coherent plan. I think it's too soon to say that. I don't think he's the problem in DC. I think they had a way more bigger problems before he got there.
Sure.
There's a lot riding on a Superman movie, in my opinion.
I would agree. I don't think that he's the problem because this issue preceded him.
Yeah.
Right. And it's still there. So whatever that mojo is, it may or may not have anything to do with him, but it's definitely not entirely him.
Yeah. I mean, and he hasn't done anything with the DCU yet. He did that one Suicide Squad movie, but that was before he was brought in. That was just like hired as a director. So yeah, I don't think. Now we'll see with Superman and the beginning of this plan he has, if it's his fault or not. Creature Commandos was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if I actually, after seeing this last trailer, I don't think Superman's going to be bad. I don't. I don't think it's going to be like, oh my God, the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
But I think it will be on the positive side, if you will.
I would guess that it's going to be better than Eternals.
Well, I mean, that's a low bar, Adrian. But
dude, that's where my expectation is now. I mean, the dog just fucked it off for me. I'm having nightmares about that.
I'm a little nervous about how much the dog's going to be involved. But Xylee Slidell says they spent all their effort building up the Kang, wasted Ant-Man movie and entire Loki series on him, so those characters deserve some justice. I don't agree. How's it wasted? Like, does every character need to be continued into more stories? Like, I understand the Kang stuff with, screwed up their plan initially.
Yes.
But the way they ended Loki, there's no Kang. There's no He Who Remains. Right? Victor went back in time, and the TVA is monitoring all these variants. And then the way the Ant-Man movie ended, that Kang that was in the quantum zone, they killed. So technically, you don't need to continue those characters. Now, there was one post-credit scene with the Council of Kangs, right? But, dude, how many times has there been a post-credit scene that led to nothing?
Right.
It's a post-credit scene. It wasn't a show or movie.
Including Black Lightning, Black Adam.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, do you feel like, those characters need some justice, or it is what it is? Like,
I do not.
I think Jonathan Majors should receive some justice.
Absolutely.
But if maybe it's not with this character in the story right now. Also,
T'Challa.
100%.
Or some variant.
Yes, I do. We said this last week, and I said this. I do think that the one big thing missing right now in the MCU, especially for this Doomsday Secret War story, is a T'Challa variant.
Yep.
Like, I know Namor wasn't your favorite, but we have a Namor. When you have Namor, you need T'Challa.
Right.
I mean, they're
well, not really. I would pair. Actually, T'Challa shows up everywhere. I would say more Avenger-esque kind of a situation than Namor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love their dynamic in the comics. I love it's like they have a respect for each other, but they also fucking hate each other. But they love each other, but they hate each other.
Well, they both have their kings of their own realms. They have their own realms to protect.
Yeah.
And they go just like Doom. They have, they will go to great lengths to protect what is theirs. It's not like the Avengers, like, we're kind of representatives of the United States if they're not trying to hunt us also, kind of a deal. It's like, no, this is my land. These are my people. These are our resources, and no, you can't have them.
Yeah, and the more you say that, the more it annoys me that he's not there, because you're gonna have Doom,
right?
ruler of a nation, a badass motherfucker. You got Namor, ruler of a nation, a badass motherfucker, and then you don't have T'Challa.
Right.
Oh no, you have his little sister who's
not only do you not have T'Challa, you don't have that presence, you don't have those resources, you don't have those other things, because his sister's going to be busy being his sister, being the Brainiac.
And she's not the ruler of the nation either. She didn't want that. She's just a Black Panther.
Right.
Which in the comics, she has the power in the suit at the same time as T'Challa, and they work together a lot. Mm-hmm. But he's still the king.
Right.
She made M'Baku the king, which he's a badass, but he ain't Black Panther.
Right.
So I think that's now, is it going to ruin no, it's not going to ruin anything. For me, that's just something, as a fan, I would have loved to seen with these kings, these rulers, these badass, like, dude, the fact that we're not going to, or maybe we will, maybe get a variant, but one thing I would love to see is T'Challa versus Namor in one of these movies.
Right. And she made the purple herb artificial, right?
Yeah.
So you can literally give it to anybody.
Correct.
Right? So just fucking pick somebody.
Now, how would you feel if she gave it to M'Baku?
Nah.
No? Why?
Not the character.
No?
No, his role, the role that he was playing is perfect for him.
Which we don't talk about him enough. I love that character.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm gonna kind of like he's arrogant. He knows he's a badass.
Sure. Yeah.
And like, I help you when I want to, and he kind of fucks with them, and but he also has her back.
Right.
Like I do like their dynamic. Like I don't dislike Shuri's character. I just it's missing T'Challa.
Correct.
You know.
Correct.
All right, let's see. Oh, let's move on to Spotify, and then we're gonna get into some hidden gem, Adrian. Is Daniel Day-Lewis the hidden gem, or no?
No.
Probably not.
He's not.
Okay.
Literally, probably most people that we talked about today is somehow involved in a hidden gem.
Oh, shit. Damn, that's a tease. I almost want to stop and think about that. Who do you guys think it is? I don't know. All right, Drunken Legend on Spotify says, guys, there's a lot of Emma Frost cosplay out there. Damn.
I'm sure it is.
Oh, yeah. Memo Garcia. Hey, guys, love the show. Got a question about older comics. I've read the original Secret Wars, and I'm reading Batman Nightfall. Do you guys struggle reading older comics because you don't like the art style? You're motherfucking goddamn right. Yes. Yes, dude,
no, I'm struggling reading the new stuff because of the art style.
Really?
It's too glossy, dude. It's too... Again, I'm used to that newspaper pixel, 2 color tones.
Yep.
That's me.
You like the simpler.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, speaking of the original Secret Wars, dude, that was hard for me to get through. Just the bright fucking 4 colors, dude. It's like you're coloring with a box of crayons.
That's all you need.
I know.
That's all you need.
Us young bucks, Adrian, we can't. Our eyes don't work like that, you know?
Yeah, mine don't work now at all. So.
It's the cataracts, dude. They
That's it.
But yeah, I definitely, because like Nightfall, I've not read Nightfall because I don't like the art style. It's too basic.
I get it.
Dr. Aquafresh, let's just agree that the Batman 2 isn't happening, and I couldn't care less. It's been too long with delays. I loved it, but let the Batman die. No, I don't agree. Can't wait for Brave in the bold Batman. I do agree with that. I am interested in that whole Bat family established. The Damian Wayne story is a great story in the comics. We've seen in some animation that should be told on screen. Walla West says, loving the path the MCU is taking. He's a positive guy, see? We need more like him. The Ebony Blade with Stone Eternals, yep. With Jon Snow. Super powerful weapon, but turns the bearer crazy. Hopefully some of these cool weapons actually get used. And then C says, Adrian, my dude, I rock with you. I like Brave New World better than the new Avengers. Oh, you got one, dude. You got one, yeah. Only thing is, man, oh man, was Logan in Days of Future Past amazing. Okay. So you pushed back last week, Adrian. You said the none of the X-Men movies are great. Now we removed the Wolverine movies from that.
Right.
Do you, in your opinion, is Logan a great comic book movie?
Compared to X-Men type movies, yes.
But just in general, like,
I think it's a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like if someone said to you, hey, give me I've never watched comic book movies, but I love really good movies. Give me fucking 5 or 10 of the best comic book movies. Would Logan happen to be?
I throw it in there.
I love, it's one of my favorite comic book movies, period, as they say. But anyways, that is We Respond. We appreciate all the interns. Where can you become an intern? In the description to this video, or go to the YouTube our main channel, and there's a button right next to subscribe. Also, subscribe, turn on that little bell so you get notified, when we feel like talking. Adrian, the hidden gem, you built this up. So you said earlier, let me make sure I heard you right. Just about everybody we're talking to today is somehow tied to this hidden gem.
Not talking to. Talking about.
Talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Is it Diddy?
It is not.
Okay.
Or Cassie.
Okay, perfect. All right. Who's our hidden gem?
So today's hidden gem is, so I got to think about, well, I'll just tell you first what it is, and then I'll go into the spiel.
Okay.
So today's hidden gem is, so it's not just one person. It's a group of characters. And I just switched over to something else. But anyway.
Some trees.
So it's about some characters. We talk about, like the like superpower, the Galactus and things like that. But specifically, and I mentioned this one time in the past, Rune Thor.
Yep.
Right? So I'm like, okay, so what other characters are out there that's like at his level? First of all, what is he? And what are other characters out there across Marvel and DC? Mm-hmm. That's at this Thor level. And basically, the Rune Thor is like this. I mean, he's already a god. He's also already super strong. He's got Mjolnir, all these powers. But the Rune Thor is like at a different level. So the Rune Thor was basically Loki's kicking his ass at every turn. He has the Avengers come in. Every scenario that Thor threw at Loki, basically, Loki won. So he needed to find some other kind of way to defeat Loki. So he sought out his father's wisdom, which sent him to some far-off place. He had to give up an eye. He still didn't get what he needed, so he gave up both of them. He was able to see kind of like into the future. Then he did also like his father, hung himself. And they got him into hell, where he met this group of shadow people. He defeated them, and he emerged. This is the short version, because there's so much to get into. He emerged with both the Odin Force and the Ruin Magic, right? So that's his level. So when he emerged, all of his powers are 1,000 times, right? He can do all this crazy stuff: energy manipulation, reality warping, time manipulation, teleportation, just weirdness, right? So then I'm like, okay, so we have this Rune Thor. What other characters exist like him? So this isn't about Thor. This is about a plethora of other people, right? So, Rune Thor on that level. So Rune Thor is Marvel. You have the Spectre, which is DC.
Yeah.
Living Tribunal, right? Marvel.
We saw earlier in the Doom comic.
Right. Dr. Manhattan, which we kind of touched bases on. Franklin Richards, Marvel. Lucifer Morningstar, which we know as the devil, right? Yep. DC. The Beyonder, the pre-retcon version, right? We've been talking about him, Marvel. Now, this is a name I hadn't heard. Elaine Belloc, DC. I'll get into her. Well, I'll talk about her.
Pause.
The one above all, which is, we understand, is to be God.
In
right?
Marvel, right?
In Marvel.
Yeah.
Perpetua, DC. And so God Emperor Doom and Cosmic Armor Superman, DC. Ooh. So all of these characters are at these levels. So I started digging into it. And I'm like, so Rune Thor, Rune Magic, Omniscient, Immortality. Pretty much everybody on this list has some version of this stuff. You don't even list their strength or their durability. They call it just God level, which is, you can't even measure it. Like teleportation or speed, you can't really measure it. It kind of doesn't even make sense to even talk about it.
Almost like the Omega mutant measuring of power. Like, it's just, there's no limit.
Correct. Well, there is limits.
Okay.
And these guys are their limits, all right? So I even got into, like, if they walked up to, like, a street corner, who would win kind of a deal.
Oh, snap.
All right. So, you got all these guys, like Dr. Manhattan, right? So if you think about these characters, Dr. Manhattan, he can perceive both current time, future, and past all at the same time, right? But he's not even the strongest one on this list.
Damn.
Right? Now, so you think about that. So you have Rune Thor, Dr. Manhattan, God Emperor Doom, Cosmic Armor Superman. You have a person that can perceive time, that can be in all places at the same time. All at the same time. And he's not even the strongest person. It just kind of gives you an idea at the level of power that these characters have, right? So going on the list, Franklin Richards, reality warping, Lucifer, almost omnipotent creation, manipulation of reality. They're pretty much all immortal. Perpetua, multiverse creation, cosmic manipulation, God Emperor Doom, reality warping, multiverse control. It just gets insane. So there's tiers, right? And this is where, even though these guys are so powerful, it kind of like separates them, right? So you have the God tier. That's what that's what Rune King Thor is, Perpetua, Dr. Manhattan. That's kind of the lower level.
Yeah.
Think about, out of this as I keep going through.
Okay.
The cosmic tier, Franklin Richards, the Beyonder. The multiversal tier, that's the Spectre, the Living Tribunal, right? Near omnipotent tier, that's Lucifer Morningstar, and it's Elaine Belloc, right? And then you have the omnipotent tier, and there's only one, and that's basically God, the one above all, right?
Got it.
So now, Elaine Belloc, she is basically the descendant of God. She is Gabriel's daughter, I think, the angel, right? So she got into a position where somebody else in the family was getting ready to retire, basically. There was no other descendant. So she basically took over.
Okay.
So she's like right under God when it comes to power. So that's who this person is. So
is she Anunnaki?
She is not Anunnaki.
Okay, all right. That's the other podcast.
Right. That's the other podcast. So, hypothetical battle. Who would win? So at the bottom of this, believe it or not, so the guy who could see all things at one time, at the bottom.
Damn.
Dr. Manhattan.
Okay.
Then comes Perpetua, Rune King Thor at like number 10. So there's 12 out of this when I start mixing up, like adding Doom and all these other people, right? After that, number 9, Franklin Richards. Number 8, the Beyonder. Then Spectre, the Living Tribunal, Cosmic Armor Superman, God Emperor Doom. So God Emperor Doom smacks Superman and everybody, the other fucking 8 under here, right? Lucifer Morningstar. So now you start getting to like the Bible level people, right? So right above Doom is Lucifer, Elaine, and then the one above all. So in this hypothetical world, God Emperor Doom is powerful, more powerful than 8 other characters right underneath when you start getting into God, like God gods, not Thor gods, but God gods. So I just thought it was interesting that people understand. So first of all, if you think about God, we're supposedly made in his image. Obviously, because with the Anunnaki, right? And and the Greys and the reptilians and everything else, that we're not made in his physical image.
Right.
We're made in his image in that God is a creator, right? So we are made to create. Now, even fictional stuff, some guy sat down and they thought about, and this is over this 75 years comics has existed or whatever.
Yeah.
They have thought of all these characters, not only the Spider-Mans, the Daredevils, right? But, the Supermans, and then take it up a notch, Cosmic Power Superman, you got Galactus, you got Celestials, you got the Living Tribunal, the Watchers, you got, the Owens that creating the Green Lantern Corps, you got the Reed Richards, you got the Tony Starks, but then you have these characters. A version of the characters from the Bible, but man creating these characters. So not only are you creating something, but you're creating a whole ecosystem of these characters that make them make sense, right? So I think that's amazing. But I just wanted to kind of like we have these characters. You think about, well, Superman fighting, I don't know, whatever. But you get into like this celestial level shit, dude. And it's just so much more out there. And these are just some. These are just some of the characters that's out there. But
because there's others that would fit in those categories.
Absolutely.
Right? Like you just picked a handful that fit. But like Galactus would be somewhere in here.
Yep.
I mean, like you mentioned, the Celestials would be somewhere in there.
Yep.
But you know what's crazy too, as you're going through that, we potentially 3 to 4 of these characters we could see on screen.
Right.
Franklin Richards, we know what we're going to see. We don't know what version, but we're going to see him.
Right.
God Emperor Doom feels like a natural progression from Doomsday to Secret Wars. If Doom's going to be destroying universes, we're going to need to see God Emperor Doom.
Right. And who does Doom steal his powers from? The Beyonder. Right.
Which he's been rumored to be casted too. Also, this may be crazy, but could we see a Rune King Thor?
Possibly.
I mean, you need someone to go up against God Emperor Doom.
Right.
Rune King Thor, we heard that the rumors they want to give Thor a proper send-off.
Right.
Would that not be a proper send-off? He does whatever. I mean, they're not going to follow it to a T, but he does some wild shit to get this power.
Yep.
And maybe it's so much power for him that he's going to use it to fight. And, of course, in movies, it kills you off, right?
Sure.
Or unalives him.
Unalive.
But, I mean, we just gave him the fucking script right there for sequel. Yeah,
there you go.
Go check the mailbox and see if there's a check in there.
I can guarantee you it's not.
Okay, save yourself the trip. So, dude, but this is awesome, and I see what you're saying. Like the whole somebody sat down and built the universe in the comics, right? Like they thought of everything from. I mean, not day one, but like
sure.
And a lot of it you saw. I'm not to be a Jonathan Hickman Glazer here, Adrian, but a lot of this you saw, and we're going to run through this over the next, several months, this whole event from probably starting at Avengers Disassembled, getting to Secret Wars. But you'll see how much of Jonathan Hickman kind of laid that out and incorporated that into the Marvel universe that we know to this day. The Beyonders, the Living Tribune, the Celestials, like some of them were there. He added some, but he did a good job of telling that story.
Right.
It's one thing to go, hey, there's a, one above all or a Beyonder. Okay, well, what does the Beyonder do? And how's his power? Where does he get it from? And what does that impact in the universe? And they did a great job with that build of Secret Wars.
I mean, just think about the Beyonder, right? Did a hidden gem on him last week or a couple weeks ago. Where, so somebody sat down and thought, okay, instead of being incubated in a womb, a female womb, right?
Yeah.
You have, because the Beyonders were created, right? You have a race that created the Beyonders. Right. They created a universe. His womb was his own universe in which he thought that he was the only one that existed, right? Until they started messing around, they cracked his universe. He got a glimpse of ours, saw this other thing. That's how he comes here and starts fucking around and does all this. Well, why are humans doing this? Let me create this whole nother universe for me to just watch and study them.
Right.
So somebody thought of that, dude.
Yeah.
A being that's birthed in their own universe, and they thought that was all there was. But not only does this being have its own universe, but guess what? His brothers and sisters have their own universe too. Right. And the parents don't even they're not even letting you know that you have brothers and sisters. They just letting you play in your own shit. But you set your own compass that you don't even think that other things can exist until you get a glimpse.
Right. And then if, you like Columbus, you then discover these other, right? The Beyonder, I think he discovered our universe, maybe.
Dude, you're about Columbus like I am about this damn Superman dog.
For real. Did Crypto discover Superman?
No? Yes,
okay,
he did.
All right, cool. Well, we just discovered another great hidden gem. See that? But another, as Sons of Sekhmet says, 5-star hidden gem. And I'd love to see these characters on screen. I mean, we're going Secret Wars, we're going big, we're going cosmic. Let's actually go balls in the lettuce, Adrian. Let's go over the top. Let's have God Emperor Doom fighting Rune King Thor in Battle World with the Beyonder and Franklin Richards putting it all back together when they destroy fucking everything.
Let me ask you this.
Yo.
Do we get to some point where like it's like, because we kind of talked about this a few weeks ago also, you know, the multiverse. Mm-hmm. We went from Daredevil and the Street Corner to the multiverse. Right. Like, damn, the multiverse. Yeah. We're sick of multiverse. Now it's ingrained in us, right?
It feels right.
It feels right.
It does.
Now, do we go too far? Is there a limit? You know, once you start introducing all of these things, like this list that I just said, right? Yeah. Probably 4 of the people on that list we'll probably see in some version on the screen in the next 10 years. Sure. Can we go too far with this thing?
I think if they don't do like a soft reboot with Secret Wars like it happens in the comics, then yes. Gotcha. I think it's like almost it's like the end game battle, right? Mm-hmm. If you did that in every movie, you'd be like, all right, dude, come on. Right. Seriously? But I think we need to do it one time. Yep. I think we need to get to that cosmic level where it's incursions, universes dying off, big, you know, power that is just undescribable on the screen. And then once that's over, then we need to reboot, reset, and go back to being a little more grounded.
So my next multi-parter, will DC survive movie making to get to part 2, get into a multiverse kind of event? Yeah.
Dude, I hope. I fucking really hope. I think I gotta imagine James Gunn is smarter than the last crew that captained this ship into the fucking iceberg. Also, how does an iceberg penetrate a steel ship? Is that accurate?
That's a true thing.
It can really happen.
Okay,
absolutely. Right. I was just thinking ice,
because you got
steel.
Hundreds of thousands of tons slamming into hundreds of thousands of tons.
Okay.
I mean, you ever get hit with like a snowball? Yeah. That was a little hard.
Sure.
Had a little corner
I'm not
on
made
it.
of steel though.
Right. No, but it's the same thing.
Okay.
When you look at these types of forces, you know, if you hit a wooden table with a wooden bat, it's going to dent it.
Sure.
Right? If you hit, you know, somebody, you know, with your fist on their face, you know, it's going to be some damage.
If you brush alongside it real quick, it's going to sink your ship. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just sounds a little strange.
Hey, I mean, you could also, you know, get close to it and put some explosives in there, you know, and then blame the iceberg.
Correct. Also,
I'm just saying,
how do you miss something that big? I'm just saying, it's not like it was, you know, jumped out of nowhere.
It's like I woke up this morning and, you know, kind of browsing around YouTube, and the first thing I see is in these descriptions, Mexican Navy ship runs into the Brooklyn Bridge. I'm like, come on, man. I mean, this is a slow moving object against a stationary object that you know is there.
And obviously, I don't know all the ship terms, but whatever them fucking poles are, masts, they're above the bottom of the bridge.
Right.
They're taller. We can see the shit.
Yep.
The fuck you doing?
Well, you shouldn't have even tried to go there. Correct. Because you have nautical charts, right? That tells you just like in aeronautic charts, right?
Yep.
There's a balloon, and when you're flying from mid-Florida, anywhere mid-Florida, to like what is it? What's at the end of Florida?
Keys.
The Keys.
Yep.
There's this fucking balloon on a wire.
Okay.
Strings up, I don't know, 2,000 feet, whatever height in the air. It's on a chart. It tells you go around this fucking thing, right?
It.
There's also parts that tell you like, okay, you have mountains here, and they give you numbers, and they tell you how high these mountains are, so you can go over them.
Oh, so you don't fly into the mountain.
So you don't fly into them. Okay. Well, guess what? They I'm sure they have bridges on nautical charts.
You would think
so. There's a fucking bridge up this river somewhere, right? Why don't you look out for it? Yeah. Oh, by the way, why don't you find out, or don't have it in front of you, put it on a sticky.
Probably tells you the height too, right?
Exactly.
Like,
put on a sticky how tall your masts are.
Right.
And right next to that, well, this bridge, it tells you how low the bridge is.
Right.
If those two don't match, don't even go up this river, right?
Take an alternate route, maybe.
No. So I just find that amazing, dude. It's crazy.
It's like going to the parking garage, right? It's like if it says, 6'4", 6'8", and then your truck is, 8'12", You probably don't want to go in that parking garage, dude.
Dude, I did that. I was moving something. I was delivering something, and I had a U-Haul. And I got to this place, and I saw this bridge. It was one of those curved bridges, right?
Yeah.
One of them old stone curved bridges. It said...
Tartarian bridge?
It was not Tartarian. It said something like bridge height, 8 foot, 2 inches or something, right? Now, before I got in the thing, because you also thinking at some point you're going to eat. You go to McDonald's or something, and they tell you the heights because you don't want to go and like start crashing into people's shit.
Right.
So you look on the side of the van, and it says height 9 foot, whatever, right? So I'm looking, and I'm driving up to this thing, bridge 8 foot, whatever. Oh, my truck is 9 foot, whatever. So I caused a little, stoppage of traffic, but I literally turned around.
Okay.
That's what you do.
Right.
But a whole ship into a bridge.
Right. Well, that's what you do. That's obviously not what they did. So.
In the Navy, dude, the Navy.
Damn.
Come on, not American Navy.
Right.
They made sure of that.
Oh, yeah.
Mexican Navy.
For real. It wasn't us, dude. Not this time. Hey, the Baltimore one, maybe that was on us, but this one, not on us.
Weirdness.
Yes.
Anyway.
But to answer your question, do I think the DCU will get to that point pretty much? Like, we're probably talking Crisis on Infinite Earths, right? Like, that would be their moment. I do think so.
But that's going to be what? At the rate they're going, it's going to be 20 years from now.
Right.
I'm going to give zero fucks at that point.
I would say if they do this properly, what they should do is take a page out of Marvel's book and have a 10-year plan. And maybe Marvel didn't have a 10-year plan when they started that plan. I don't think they did. Like, people, they planned out Thanos from day one. No, the fuck they didn't. Knock it off. They retconned him in. They evolved, which is, I'm fine with it. I can pretend like he was there. I got it. I lived through the Star Wars prequel eras when George Lucas tried to tell us the same thing. Like, okay, so Obi-Wan Kenobi doesn't remember having a fucking droid named R2-D2 when he sees him again 10 years later. Knock it off. That's weird. But do I think this Superman trailer has given me more hope than I had before for the DCU. So I hope they do. It'd be great to have a whole nother, style, version, story on screen of comic movies, not just the MCU.
As I see more of this Superman stuff, and I shit on it, but mostly because of the dog. But what it is doing is this: it's introducing other characters than fucking Batman. Right. So they're getting away from that. So they're introducing a galactic threat, right? I don't know where Godzilla comes into this or their version of Godzilla, but I don't know where that's coming from. But there's other things than Batman in there. So this could be the jumping point to a multiversal guide. I mean, not guide, but path. Where they start, introducing other things, other calamities happen. This alien bringing this alien, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and I like that it feels different. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want it. That was my biggest issue with the DCEU is it just felt like a DC knockoff of the MCU. We don't need that. Do your own thing. Right. Which it seems like they're doing here. So, all right, Adrian, it's about that time to get into some agree to disagree and take the show home, as they say. They're giving us the signal in there, so... we're going to go through a handful of I do got 10 this week. These are my opinions. So if you say they're wrong, you're fucking wrong. That's how it works here, okay? I'm done being nice. Your opinions are wrong. Mine are right. The only ones that matter, well, actually, Adrian's matters too because I'm about to ask him. And then we're going to go spread rumors about each other online if we don't agree, right? So anyway, probably not going to do that. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's fucking go.
Number 1, Fantastic Four First Steps will be better than Superman.
Agree.
Dr. Doom does not need the Thanos build in the MCU.
Absolutely.
Dr. Doom is an upgrade from Kang the Conqueror.
Definitely.
The X-Men would destroy the Avengers in the comics.
Correct.
The OG MCU Avengers would destroy the OG Fox X-Men.
Agree.
Tupac over Biggie.
Tupac.
Forget about the X-Men. The Sentinels have never been done properly in live action.
They absolutely have not.
What was the shit show of a few times they tried? It's unbelievable.
Right. And there's like, speaking of Rune Thor, there's like Rune Thor level Sentinels too.
Oh yeah, the Mastermind, and which we saw now in animation. They did a great job in X-Men '97. We saw the big Mastermind making the Sentinel. They just like pop out of his chest and shit. Bearded Reed over clean-shaven Reed in the comics.
I'm on the fence on that one, dude.
Yeah?
I mean, I'll go either way, but I mean, if he went bald-headed with the beard, then bearded Reed.
Dude, I like the beard. Like, that's the gray
it's cool.
in there.
It's cool.
Like, that's the one.
But some people can't wear it, though.
True. Yeah, because maybe that's why Pedro Pascal's not got the beard. So.
No, he's like the sprinkly, I can't grow a beard kind of beard guy.
He's got that. My facial hair is coming in. Like, bro, you're 52. It's not. It's not coming in. Yellow Wolverine suit over brown suit.
Yes.
And last but not least, here at Only Comics, Adrian, we're making Mondays great again, one Monday at a time.
Absolutely.
And if you want to spread that news to other people, you can go to onlycomicsmerch.com and buy this Mga shirt, because that's how you say it. We're still working on that part, but making Mondays great again since 2023, Adrian. We're 2 years deep into this.
Right. So if we get Nga hats, will we be confused with MAGA?
Probably, yeah. We probably should draw the line right there. But anyways, another. I think you agreed across the board this week, Adrian.
Yeah.
So it's because I paid you. After all, last week you disagreed with like most of them, and I got so offended and upset, and I was typing about you online all week long.
I felt it.
Yeah, you felt it, or not, or it was actually all we did was we moved on to another podcast.
That's how it works.
Because we're adults here, Adrian.
Yep,
that's how it works. Now, some of you may not agree. Sometimes, yeah. Depends on the moment. But what can you do now? Outside of going to onlycomicsmerch.com, you can go and sign up for the membership and catch other stuff this Wednesday. Dude, we got some Vatican stuff we're talking about. Right. We got a lot of comments too. And boy, dude, I was doing my deep dive, and holy shit, are they hiding some stuff up in there?
The Vatican and the boy Smithsonian.
Oh yeah. What do you got? You got some stuff on the Smithsonian. So stay tuned or join us this Wednesday on other stuff. We appreciate y'all coming out. Adrian, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely,
another great hidden gem. And I do, going back, I hope we see some of those characters on screen. Let us know of all of these. Top. What did you call them? Top tier. What do you call them? The hidden gem this week?
I don't know. I didn't call them anything, but they're like God level entities.
Okay.
We call it that.
God level entities. Of all these God level entities, who would you love to see on screen? I'd love to see Rune Thor, fight God Emperor Doom in the MCU. Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom, Chris Hemsworth, Thor, uber powered, and then you got Franklin Richards in the back just waiting for them to fuck shit up so he can fix it all.
There you go.
Anyways, subscribe if you haven't already. You know where to find us every week right here on Only Comics. We'll see you next week.
Peace.